It's so funny that like we have to split this segment up to 2 things on the show. Just fucking have the conversation now.
Yeah, it's like, everyone leave. I want to talk to Abyss.
Why do we have to do the fucking let's talk later bullshit?
It's a hook, you see, to get people to stay watching. Which is probably the idea. It is legitimately probably. We'll do that opening segment to be like, hang around. The thing wants to talk to Abyss man to man.
But who is that like for? Who is in there like, oh fuck, I need to make sure I'm still here to see the Sting Abyss talking segment.
I've heard clips of the Ariel Helwani Vince Russo interview, and based on that, I think it's for the casual fan. That wrestling is apparently not serving anymore.
Okay. Let me tell you what, look, I couldn't give a flying fuck about the casual fan. The casual fan can go fuck off.
There was a Brian Alvarez quote this week where, like, Tony books wrestling that he likes, and I'm like, the dude is a billionaire doing a vanity project. What the fuck would be the point of him booking wrestling he doesn't like?
But, like, isn't the old adage, like, you should make things you like, because then other people might like them?
That was the Jerry Jarrett idea, yeah. That, like,
if you're serving one person, you might be serving some other people, you know?
Yeah. Presumably there are wrestling fans that are the same kind of wrestling fan as you out there. You're not an isolated, like, outlier.
I don't know, man. Fuck it. Like, AEW's best television of the year is the fucking Continental Classic when it's just 6 fucking matches between guys.
And like, if you were a billionaire launching hundreds of millions into the startup of a wrestling company, what the fuck is the point of you being like, and I'm going to use that money to produce wrestling I personally don't like? Like, what the fuck is that thought process?
But also, I also think it's, like, incredibly stupid to, like, think that the casual fan, like, expects one certain thing. As if there isn't just, like, people who can watch something and then appreciate it or like it or find enjoyment out of it. Like, it can't just be wrestling for some reason. It's like it has to be a skit or some bullshit. Like, why do they think people just won't enjoy the wrestling part of wrestling?
We also think this casual fan is the dumbest person alive at all times.
Well, they think the casual fan is fucking them.
Yeah.
They think it's them. They think it's, oh, you know, you have to do fucking television. You have to do cinema. And it's like, the thing that's going to stand out to them is the dudes beating the shit out of each other because they don't actually see that on anything else. You're not going to tell better stories than what's on TV. You're not going to do better comedy than what's on TV. So, like, there's places for it, obviously, on a wrestling show, because, ironically, the people that kind of stuff serves is the people who are watching every week who will get bored of the same shit, not the new people who have never seen wrestling before. Just show them fucking wrestling!
Yeah. It's a thing that drives me crazy.
Have you never watched pro wrestling with someone who has never seen it before? Like, because it's so fucking, like, easy to see the things that stand out to them, which are, and fucking block your ears if you're a fucking 40-year vet in this industry, it's fucking flips and blood, motherfucker. They're the 2 things that people who have never seen wrestling before get, like, enamored with, because it's something they can't see in anything else.
There's a reason, like, Ninja Mac doing that fucking black flip spot in the Best of the Super Juniors goes more viral than your Bloodline cinema.
Yeah, it's like the reason, like, if you ever watch a show and they're like, whoa, who is this Will Ospreay guy? You know? Who is this Darby Allin? Like, or they see Mox and they bleed and they're like, what the fuck is this? Is this allowed?
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's so insane to be like, yeah, the boring, annoying, lame parts of wrestling are the thing that's gonna get people in there. I truly don't, like, the thing that I don't understand is, like how has no one ever watched wrestling with a non-wrestling fan? Because that's the easiest way to see what fucking resonates with them.
And, like, here's the thing, they haven't. That's the problem.
Then stop fucking using them as an example, because you don't know.
Yeah.
You clearly don't.
All of these people have been living in their same podcast bubble for 20, 30 years, never getting outside of it. Their vision of wrestling is so much more broken into them by Vince McMahon than they even know themselves. They're so, like, corrupted by Vince's vision that they, like, if they see it done any other way, they don't even know why they're rejecting it, other than they don't realize that they've been incepted by Vince's wrestling by a monopoly for 20 years. And the thing that drives me crazy is, like, they always talk about what somebody else might have thought. You know, somebody else might have been confused by this story. Somebody else might not have liked this or that. It's like, fucker, if I'm watching a review of something, I want to know what you think. What was your reaction?
They don't ever have one, though.
That's the thing. They're fucking hacks. They can't think critically about stories. They can't assess these things in interesting, thoughtful ways. So they always have to invent another person out there who might have been confused or who might not have liked it, because that's how they can approach the criticism, rather than like, what was my personal response to this piece of art? What was my personal response to this story? Which is the reason, like, when we're talking about this kind of stuff a lot, I'm like, by the letter of the law, wrestling booking says you should do XYZ. But like, how did I feel? What was my reaction? When I was watching Full Gear, I saw a lot of people say, well, you shouldn't put Moxley and Kyle back to back with Fletcher and Briscoe. Which is like one of those things that you're like, oh, well, wrestling booking 101, if you're to write it in a textbook, would say, don't put the two hardcore matches back to back. And then I would simply ask, in practice, what was the negative effect? Was the crowd noticeably worse? I think the crowd was about the same as it was for the whole show for those matches. Maybe a little better for those matches than it was the whole show. Arguably, the crowd was a little better for Kyle Briscoe than it was for Kyle and Mox. So, in theory, that should be flipped by the wrestling like logic. The matches, while they were based on like violence and plunder, they were very different kinds of violence and plunder. Mox and Kyle was a lot more grounded, gritty, no holds barred style, and Briscoe and Kyle
and
was...
even like, if you do want to have the opinion of like, oh, putting them back to back was a mistake, like, I think you can have that opinion after you've watched them.
Yeah, and then you
when
explain
you've
why.
Seen the content of both matches. But when like you have a knee-jerk reaction to being like during the entrances and going, what are they doing? They don't know what they're doing. They're putting on two like in a row. It's like, well, you don't know, do you? You don't know what the match is going to be about. You don't know how it's going to be presented comparably between the two.
And there might be even a thematic reason why you decide to present them back to back. Who knows? Like there might be like a storytelling reason why you're like, I think these two matches work as a couplet. It's like it drives me crazy that we approach so much wrestling criticism from either like a philosophical way that we don't even really understand why, or from the perspective of someone we don't know, an imaginary person we don't know that we've invented in our head.
An imaginary person who we've invented in our heads, who magically will always back up the opinion I'm trying to display.
Yes. It's funny how that works, isn't it?
And it's like, again, if you have you have a real person next to you, you're watching it, who's watching wrestling for the first time, and they have these opinions, then sure, it's a valid reason to bring it up, you know? It's going to be, at least, it's going to have some meaning, you know? But when it's just nothing, it makes no sense. It's like, who cares? You're lamenting something that doesn't exist.
Yes. Instead of saying, what did you think of the match? What did you think of the characters? What did you think of the story? How did it make you feel? That's what I want to know from a review. I don't want to know, well, you know, somebody else might have thought this was confusing. What's that fucking useful for?
Yeah.